Hey guys, welcome back to the Ice and Storm podcast. I'm Storm.
And I'm Ice Master.
And today we'll be talking about the live action Mufasa movie.
Yes.
You want to get things started?
Let's get things started. So, I think, should we give our overall thoughts first about the movie?
Yeah, I like that.
You want to go first, Storm, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I can go first?
Yeah,
Alright.
Yeah.
So, what's my thoughts on this movie? So, I want to give my preference on the original movie and the last live action movie. So I love the animated movie. I love it. I adore it. It's such a good movie. I don't think everyone loves that movie. If you don't like that movie, there's something weird about you. So yeah,
It's true. It's true.
And then when it comes to the live action movie of it, I actually, when we first watched it, I thought it was actually pretty good. But that was years ago, mind you. I've not watched it since. But before we went to watch this movie, I went to go rewatch the live action movie, and I very much didn't like it. I thought it was really bad. So yeah, I was coming into this one, both excited and nervous because the trailers were alright, but there was some problems which we can get into, and then there, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think that Disney has been kind of not been doing good on their live action remakes for some time now.
You could say that.
Yeah. So coming into this, I was a little worried that it was going to be bad, and I'm a little, I guess I'll say flimsy. I want to say it's not all that bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. But would I say it's a good to a great movie? No. At best, it's decent. Okay, at best, for me.
Okay.
It might, who knows, but yeah. What about you, Storm?
Yeah, I've only seen the live action Lion King movie once.
Yes.
From what I remember, I liked that movie. That movie was solid. Like,
Yes.
I don't remember it 100%, but
You don't remember it, though.
I can it's Lion King. I can picture it. I can remember it. It's just not like fresh in my mind. But for
Yes.
what I do remember, I felt like it was a solid movie. With the Mufasa movie, I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
I thought it was a good movie. I thought there was a lot of things that was really good, and there was some things that I feel like could have been better.
Okay.
But I feel like for the most part, it was a good movie, and I enjoyed the movie.
Okay. That's good.
Uh-huh.
I'm
A little different than you.
a little different. I feel like maybe we'll have some disagreements here, but
Okay.
that could be fun. So
Mhm.
so you want to start with the animation first.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of the way. So the animation for the live action Lion King, the original live action one, is really bad. The voice acting in the movie is really good, and the lions, they have no facial expressions. None of that. They look bland. Like when the moment, the saddest moment in the whole movie is happening, Simba is not sad. His voice acting is really good. Whoever plays Simba, the kid voice actor, really good. But the scene, dude, it has no emotion because you don't see like the tears, the sadness on his face. You have none of that. So yeah, the animation for the old live action movie was really bad. Coming into this one, I was actually really happy that they did improve the animation. Like they have like facial details now. Like you can see when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're mad, with better lip sync with the singing, which is really good. Which is funny because this is a live action movie, but this movie is fully animated, so it's kind of funny. But so yeah, I overall think the animation actually was really great. This movie.
Yeah.
I guess when we get like close up shots of like their faces, that's when it looks a little weird to me. Maybe that's when it looks a little weird to me. But other than that, I was actually really happy that they took like the hate from the old movie and actually improved it.
Yeah.
That showed something, so I was really happy with that. What about you, Storm?
I feel like the animation was really good.
Okay.
I thought the lines looked good. The kind of like the place they lived looked good. Malele and everything.
Yeah.
The traveling, the water, the crocodiles that we saw.
Yeah.
The whole animation was just pretty good. I
good.
thought they did a real good job with that, actually.
Yeah, that part, it was really good, yeah. So
I like the animation.
I like the animation. I thought it was really impressive when we got those far out shots as well.
For me, there was no problem with the animation at all.
Yeah. Next, we'll discuss pacing, I guess, for the movie. And I'm a little mixed on this one. On one hand, I like the pacing. On the other hand, every time I thought we went back to the present, I felt like we were definitely slowing down time a little bit, especially with two certain characters who I despise in this movie, but we'll get into those two later. But yeah, I feel like whenever we cut back to the present, I feel like we kind of dragged out the movie a little long. I feel like, yeah, this movie is 2 hours long, and I definitely think at least for me, I don't know if you felt this way, Storm, I definitely felt the weight of it. I definitely think, they're kind of doing a little too much. Like, I know I pointed out how much I really like the far out shots, but I gotta admit, we did get a lot of that. And I don't know, I think the pacing was a little off. I think whenever we cut back to the present, it was a little too much time, and I thought we cut back a little too much. And then, yeah, I think we got, as much as I like the far out shots we got, I feel like there was a lot of those. But what do you think, Storm?
I disagree.
You disagree? Okay, no, that's fine.
I think it was a 2 hour long movie, and it felt like a 2 hour long movie. It didn't feel long. It didn't feel short. I felt like it was 2 hours isn't a long movie time, so I feel like it didn't feel long, but it also didn't feel short. So I feel like it felt like a normal 2 hour movie for me.
That's fair.
And I actually didn't mind when they cut back
to the present.
Because it added a different vibe to the movie. Added a little bit of comedy, a little bit of comedic relief off of the movie.
Yeah, I guess.
So
yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with that. Sure, you could say that maybe did it one or two more times than they should have, but I didn't have a problem with it. So
that's fair. So,
just my opinion.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Now we'll get into the characters.
Okay, I like that.
So we gotta start with the main guy, Mufasa. And I overall thought Mufasa was really good this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked his whole story going on. I mean, yeah, it's a whole underdog story. I do have, I guess, some problems with it. Maybe a little. I guess, my thing is that I think they made Mufasa a little too humbled, I guess. Because, like, at the end of the movie, when all the animals are bowing down, calling him king, he's like, no, stop bowing. Lift your head. I feel like he was a little too humbled at some points. But I like whenever he had, like, the visions and stuff like that, and he was talking with Rafiki, who we'll get into him later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I overall liked Mufasa. I liked his voice as well. Thought the voice actor did really good. Both the young and old.
Yeah.
The Mufasa, and you can't beat. Wow, we should say is rest in peace to James Earl Jones. Great Mufasa. We will never forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I overall like Mufasa.
Yeah, I like Mufasa a lot. I feel like
I like this whole story.
I didn't have any problem with him being humble at the end because I feel like that's kind of his character. I think it was cool that we got to see where he came from. He kind of came from like losing his family and stuff. And I feel like even in the original animated Lion King, he was kind of super humble and like treated everybody the same. He didn't act like a king, I feel like, until it came down to stepping up and being king.
Yeah, and like a father to Simba as well.
Yeah, so I feel like they did a good job with his character.
I agree. I don't have that much of a big problem. Now, let's get into the other main one. Taka, a.k.a. Scar.
Taka?
So, you want to actually, before we get into the character, I know we both had a problem with the voice actor being British, but this is my opinion. I admit, I didn't like it. I was not liking it at first, and I was still not really vibing with it. There were a couple lines here and there where I'm like, I don't know about that one. But I feel like by the end of the movie, I did get used to it. So, I overall will say I got used to it and I didn't mind it by the end. But I will admit there were a couple off lines in here. But here and there. But I still thought it was fine, I guess. Storm, what about you?
I wasn't a big fan of it.
That's fine. No, I wasn't too big of a fan either.
I think, here's the thing. I think by the end of the movie, his voice kind of changed.
Yes.
Like, he kind of had that deeper Scar type voice.
He sounded like more like Scar. He was trying to sound more like Scar.
Which is good. Which is a good thing for sure, but it's kind of... He was just too British at the beginning. Like,
he was too
This British. Is a bad idea!
Yeah, he was...
Like, I don't know. It was almost too much for me. It would have been okay if he had a little bit of a softer tone voice, a little bit, closer to Mufasa, closer to Simba type, whatever. But instead, he was completely British, and then by the end of the movie, kind of had more of a villain type,
more of a villain Scar, which doesn't make sense by the end of the movie either.
So I feel like it was kind of. I don't know.
Okay, and I guess now we can talk about this before we get into the character of Taka or Scar. How did you feel about the change of them not being biological brothers? Because that's a big change, and I just want to point this out. That change makes no sense, because in the animated movie, they're like, I may have gotten the brains of it, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm on the shallow edge of the pool.
Don't turn your back on me, Scar.
Oh no, Mufasa. Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
Temper. I wouldn't dream of challenging you.
Pity. Why not?
Well, as far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
And stuff like that, There were a lot of lines about that. And, the whole thing about I was next in line before the little hairball was born, all those classic lines. And, again, that change makes no sense. And I don't really like it, but I think I got used to it. But
yeah, I think
I didn't like it all that much, though. If I'm gonna,
I didn't mind that one too much, but
it just doesn't make sense either with what they say in the animated movie or in the live action movie. It doesn't really make sense.
I don't know. I didn't mind it too much, even though them being biological probably would have been better, but it probably is difficult to do that. And I don't know. They are totally different, and they look different too. So I don't know. It is kind of it's interesting how they did change that up, but it also, in a way, makes sense. I don't know.
Sort of. I don't know if it makes sense.
I don't know if it makes sense. But
I don't think it makes sense, especially what they say in the animated movie. But yeah, now when we talk
in the Mufasa movie, it makes sense. But if you put the Mufasa movie with Lion King, then it kind of gets a little fishy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's a little odd. So now let's talk about Scar as a character, and I'm gonna be real. This is one of my 3 biggest problems with the movie. So let me get started. So in the anime movie, what can we not say about Scar that hasn't already been said? He's evil, he's slimy, and he just wants power, right? That's pretty much what he wants. He was next in line for the throne before Simba was born, and that's all he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like an evil person to me. But in this movie, they give him more of a backstory where it turns out he was in love with Sarabi, and I'm just gonna be real, they kind of just made him a simp in the movie, where they make him fall in love with Sarabi, and then of course, together with Sarabi, then Scar, he feels betrayed by that, and then, and then he joins sides with the villains, and then, he becomes evil. And before you say that's not the whole story, because what you say at the end, well, he tried to save Mufasa at the end. He regretted his decision. That's how he got his scar, which we'll get into that as well, by trying to save Mufasa. And that just, a counterpoint, that never would have happened if Scar didn't do all that to begin with. It's like, everything Scar did was his own fault, and then he just, blamed Mufasa for everything. And by the end of the movie, when he asked for forgiveness, and then he tries to ask for forgiveness, and then Mufasa's like, no, and I will never call you brother again. It felt like they really tried to make it Scar was in the sympathy for it. It felt like they tried to justify what Scar did, leading the villains.
Yeah.
To Manele and Prior Rock, yeah. And I don't know why they tried to did that. I don't know why they tried to back out, because I just didn't like the whole thing, if I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like how they made Scar fall in love with Sarabi and have that be the reason why he betrayed Mufasa and joined the villains.
I don't think that was the complete reason, but I think that was kind of the final straw.
It was the main reason, though. It was the main reason. And you can't even say his mother didn't love him or something like that, or his mother was mad at him, because even she said it's okay, your moment of courage will come. And even the dad, he didn't care for Mufasa.
Yeah.
Scar's turn to being evil didn't really make all that sense to me. And this is now a problem I gotta have. When everyone's you should kick him out and leave him behind, Mufasa is no, I will keep him because he's still technically my brother. Kind of. But I'm now thinking, man, Mufasa's kind of dumb for that, really. If he betrayed you once, he could betray you again. And it's like the scene when if he betrayed you once, he could betray you again. I don't know why you would keep him around then if that's the case. I get Mufasa's a good person and stuff like that. Well, good lion and stuff like that, but I don't know. I feel like for the safety of everyone, and since he is now the king now, I feel like you should like banish your brother or something like that. I feel like that would have been the better call to do. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but I feel like it's hard to do that because he did grow up with him, and it is brother. So I feel like it's kind of hard to do that. I do agree with you.
His brother as well, but it's not technically his brother as well.
Yeah, but they grew up together, so it is kind of his brother.
Yeah.
I do agree with you with the whole him turning into kind of a Scar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And just the whole... I'm sorry.
Sarabi didn't even like him.
Yeah, Sarabi didn't even like him. Yeah. Sarabi didn't like him. And then the whole thing as well of him getting his scar for trying to save Mufasa. Come on, bro. Like, come on. Really, dude? You're gonna have him turn evil and then have him try to save Mufasa. He gets his scar. Then he tries to ask for forgiveness. And then Mufasa doesn't let him get... Then Mufasa doesn't forgive him. Doesn't call him brother again. And that's why he becomes bitter and turns evil by the end and starts to do all that evil crap he did all over in the animated and the live action movie. That just does not work for me, man, if I'm just gonna be honest. It was not that good of a reason. I'm sorry, it was not that good of a reason. And again, it felt like they tried to justify it by the end with, Mufasa being mad at him. Rightfully so, I might add still.
Yeah.
Because he put everyone in danger and literally wanted to kill him. And, there was that whole thing as well where it's like, you stole my destiny. How? How did he do that? How did he do that?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And, like, the whole thing as well, like, I saved your life when you were a child. No, you didn't. That was your mom who saved him. You tried to save him, but you didn't save him. Again, it did not work for me, man. I did not... Scar's whole character in this movie, it didn't work for me, man.
Yeah, I think he just blamed Mufasa for everything.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't Mufasa's fault, but he still blamed him for everything.
He still blamed him for everything. And no, again, that just doesn't work for me. That just doesn't work for me. Again, for Scar, one of my other bigger problems with the movie.
Yeah.
I did not like what they did with Scar there in this movie. That's my opinion.
I was 50 on Scar. For me, it was kind of... He had his moments. He has some things I didn't really like. But, it was,
Yeah. Next, let's move on to Sarabi. And I'm going to be real, I don't have too much to say about her. She was kind of just in there for a love interest.
She was a good character.
I mean, she's a good character, but at the end of the day, she was kind of just in there for Scar to turn into evil. And Mufasa, of course, obviously. Yeah. But on her own, she didn't really do anything too standout-ish.
Yeah.
Same with Zazu as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the one moment where he, like, covered the tracks. And, like, the whole thing as well, if I trust you, Zazu, and Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
I like that whole moment, but, like, that's really the only thing Zazu did throughout the whole movie. And
they both did a good job with I like both the voice acting.
Oh, the voice acting was really good, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, for their characters, I feel like there's not much.
There's not really much to talk about. Next, we come to my favorite character, Rafiki. Rafiki was the best part about this movie, man. I love the voice. The whole thing as well with him and Mufasa. The whole, brother thing as well by the end with them both sharing visions. Again, Rafiki. I loved him. I love Rafiki in this movie. I wish I had a little bit more to say, but I guess, great voice acting. He was really funny, really entertaining. I loved his brother moment with Mufasa at the end of the movie, too.
Yeah.
I like when they found Rafiki's tree and then, him and Mufasa standing there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Rafiki was my favorite character in the whole movie, and probably my favorite part about the movie, if I'm going to be honest. That's my opinion.
Yeah, Rafiki's always been kind of one of the goats.
Yeah, Rafiki's always
even
been
in the
awesome.
original animated one, he was that guy.
He was awesome, yeah.
So,
Rafiki's amazing.
They definitely did him justice, I feel like, in this movie, too.
Yeah. Now we can move on to, I guess, the final couple characters, and then we can move on to the villain, I guess. So, I guess, we could talk about Simba's daughter. What's her name again?
You talking about Kiara?
Kiara, there we go. Yeah, thank you, Storm. I don't really have much to say about her. I like their voice. I like Kiara for the most part. I guess I don't really have too much to say about her though, other than she was fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. She was fine. What about you, Storm? You have anything major to say about her?
Nah. She's a good character.
Okay. Now it's my time. Now it comes to these two. Okay.
The two goats?
The two... No, not
two
in
goats.
this. Not in this movie.
The two goats.
Timon and Pumbaa next. I'm gonna be real. I hated them in this movie, bro. Every minute of screen time with them, I hated them, bro. Because they do not shut up, bro. They did not shut up once in the whole movie. That's what I'm saying. Every time we went back to the past, they wouldn't shut up. And even if you want to argue, they didn't get that much screen time, and I'm just being over dramatic. Whatever little screen time they did get, they annoyed the crap out of me. So
you can't disrespect Timon.
I'm
and Pumbaa
sorry,
like
Timon
that.
and Pumbaa were not it. And then the whole complaining about, wait, so you're saying we're not in this story? Yeah, you're telling us we're not in this story? It's like, dude, they didn't work for me, dude. I'm sorry. They were really annoying. They got on my nerves. Every time especially the one time when we were in this moment, and then it just cuts to Timon and Pumbaa, you just cut back right to their faces. It's like, what are we doing here, man? No one came to see these guys. We came to see Mufasa. Come on. Again, I'm sorry, dude. I did not like Timon and Pumbaa in this movie. They really, really are bad for me. And I didn't laugh a single time. Our youngest sister was there. I didn't hear her laugh one time when they were on all screen. What can I say? And I like their voices as well. I like their voices. I like Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. I like Billy Eichner as Timon. I like them. I thought they did good, but like when it comes down to the jokes and all of that, and like what they did, they would just like they weren't good, and like they were there to interrupt the story, and like they were there for the comedic. They were there for two reasons: one, because they're from the anime movie, so they have to include them, and two, to tell jokes because that's all they were gonna be used for in this movie. And one, the jokes did not work. Not a single joke got a laugh out of me.
What about the bathroom break?
No, that did not. No.
Oh.
No. What was that? Was that supposed to make me laugh? No. Oh, and then
Everybody needs a bathroom break, bro.
Don't do that. And I forgot the first one I said because I'm just so annoyed. I forgot the first one. Oh, yeah, because they're from the anime movie. Yeah. It's just like, what point did they really serve that this movie besides from? Like I said, when I said like they felt like they were there to pad at the time, to tell jokes, to make the movie longer, to make it get to that 2-hour runtime. And again, it just didn't work for me, dude. I'm just gonna be real. I really didn't like Timon and Pumbaa in this movie. They really got annoying to me. They really got under my skin. I hated every.
I didn't mind them.
Storm.
I didn't mind them.
You didn't mind.
Timon and Pumbaa, the characters, they're funny.
Yeah, but
I think that I don't think there was really a huge need for them in this movie.
No, there was not.
But it's still Timon and Pumbaa.
No, that's not a reason, Storm.
Then they were joking about singing the song. You know what song they were joking?
Hakuna Mufasa, yeah.
Come on, bro.
No, but that's still not a reason. That's like the hint at the anime movie stuff. But like, again,
I don't know. I feel like they were funny.
I didn't even hear one laugh out of you. So I think you were mad at. I think you were laughing at me getting mad at them. If I'm gonna be honest. I
didn't mind them. I don't think there was a real need for them, but I feel like they did a good job.
There wasn't a need for them at all.
I feel like they did a good job when they were on the screen. You smiled when they were shown on the screen.
I was smiling because I knew what was coming and I knew it was gonna annoy me. You even heard me when we were watching the movie say, "Why are we back with Timon and Pumbaa? What are they doing?" Because
those are the two of the goats.
They are goats, just not in this movie.
I didn't mind them in this movie.
I despise them in this movie. I really didn't like them in this movie, man. Well, yeah, they really got under my skin in this movie. All right,
and they got in your head.
Don't do that. Let's get to the final. Let's talk about the villains now, and I guess the whole thing. So, I want to actually hear your thought about the villain, Kyros. What did you think, Storm?
I liked them.
You liked them?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought all the white lines looked cool.
I do love the white lines.
I like the way they looked a lot. I thought they did a good job. That. And I thought Kyros was he was a good character. I thought he's not going to leave that impact on me, you know, that Scar did.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I mean, obviously Scar,
he was,
he's not going to have that impact. But I liked him as a villain. I thought he was a good villain.
That's fine. So, Kyros is a little frustrating to me because I think the whole thing. So here's the thing about Kyros. So the whole reason why he went after Mufasa and all of them is because Mufasa killed his son trying to save I cannot remember Taka's mom, basically. his adopted mom, pretty much. So that's the reason why he went after them. I thought that was a good reason. I think that's a good reason. The problem is that there's two problems with that. One, we didn't get to know him or his son before this, which that's a little missed opportunity there to get something like real emotional out of this. And number two, it was revealed later on in this movie that he's been wiping out lion tribes and wiping out the leaders. So from what we know about Kiros, he was a jerk before his son died, and he was a jerk while his son was alive.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
That was something that I was like, wait, huh? So he was bad the whole time, man? And obviously this is what made him go after Mufasa and stuff like that, because he killed his son, but like, did you really need his son to die for him to go after? If he was just some evil lion the whole time, couldn't he just gone after Mufasa in the first place then?
Yeah, but he probably wouldn't have chased him through like the whole...
Probably
all the way
not.
to Malele.
Probably not, but like still, like I said, a little bit of missed opportunity there to like...
Yeah, that is a good point. I wish they would have shown their relationship a little bit.
There wasn't a single line from the son.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single moment between him and his son. And again, and I guess the other thing that makes me a little annoyed with Kiros is, yeah, I'm just gonna be real. He has one of the worst Disney villain songs I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
You don't like Bye Bye?
No, absolutely not. Bye Bye? No.
Bye Bye.
So let me picture this.
Bye Bye.
You know the scene.
Bye Bye.
All the lines are...
Bye Bye.
Stop that song. All the lines are about to die. He's telling them straight up he's going to kill them. And then what happens? He starts singing when all of them are getting surrounded. And not only... And that would be fine. But one, his villain voice and his singing voice do not match at all. And the background music is so bad. You just hear like the little congas like playing in the background. It's like, dude, this is supposed to be a series. This is the moment where Mufasa and Taka's mom and dad are about to die. And then you have this goofy music. This guy who is supposed to be fierce. Like, I did not take him seriously after he kept on saying bye bye the whole time. Like, am I supposed to take this guy seriously, bro? When he starts singing a song, like, that could make... Because villain songs are meant to be threatening. They're meant to show power. Look at Be Prepared, for crying out loud, from Lion King. That movie is... That song is powerful. It shows just how, like, powerful and, like, evil Scar is. And then when you compare it to this, it is a joke.
That was a good transition to talk about the music. But yeah, that song was...
That was really...
That was not the song for me. You know, it was kind of...
That was the worst song in the movie. No.
Yeah, that was the worst song.
That was one of the worst villain songs, period, in
my opinion. The fact that towards the end, when he falls down, and he goes...
Bye-bye. No, bro. See, I can't take him seriously by that point. They wanted me to try to take him seriously by that point. It's like, no, I wasn't. That's the problem. That was the problem. They made me not take him seriously. Like, and like the guy's villain voice, who I forget, I don't know who plays him, but he's doing a really good villain voice, I would say, for him. But then again, his singing voice doesn't match at all with his song. And he just goes like he goes like, let me try and act his voice. He's like, there will be only one Lion King. And then he's just like, bye-bye. Bye-bye. He's just like, no, dude, that was a fail. They failed. I'm going to be real. That was my third of the problem with the movie. They failed with Kiros. They not giving us any time with him and his son, and just having him be a villain the whole time.
I guess. I like the besides that song, but yeah, that song was definitely a L.
That was the worst song in the movie. Yeah, then the song was bad. I guess he was like fine, like you said, but like he's not gonna stand up there as memorable villains.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna think of him now as what could have been as an interesting villain than what they did with him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I felt like he was a little bit... What about you, Stone? Do you think he was a little bit of somewhat of a plot device to get, like, Mufasa to Malele?
No, I felt like he was needed.
You felt like he was needed?
I just feel like that song threw it off.
Because I don't feel like... I actually don't think he was needed, because this whole... Maybe it was for, like, to have Taka join him and for them to have got whole experience, because what were you going to do with the parents? Let's be real. Yeah. But, like... I don't know, because...
To add some action, too, though, to the movie. I mean,
well, we didn't see them die. They didn't show him dying, so...
What do you mean, Kiros?
No, we saw Kiros die. I'm talking about the parents dying. We didn't see him.
No, I'm talking about just to add action to,
just to add action, yeah. That's fair. I mean, I guess...
they chased him to the with the elephant thing.
I guess it did add for some good suspense as well. for them to catch up. I will say that one lion as well, his like second in command, the lower tone voice one, that one was goofy as I don't know
what did she say at the end?
I forget. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. With pleasure.
With pleasure. Yeah, come on, bro. Like, come on, yeah. I overall think Kuro's, in my opinion, he was fine in the role he was given, but I do think as a villain, he kind of failed of being interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that was my opinion. But now, I guess, before we get into the songs, actually, I guess we could talk about Mufasa's parents real quick, I guess, since they were in the movie. I guess I will say, because I have one problem with the mom, but when it comes to, I gotta say, I do like the voices that they picked for them. I really do. Maybe that's because I love Keith Davis, and I forget the girl, but she played Tiana from Princess and the Frog. Really funny how they have both of those actors and actresses in there, because she played Tiana, he played the main villain from Princess and the Frog. That was just really funny to me, but their singing voices are great, and yeah, I overall love those voice actors. But yeah, my problem though with them is that it's revealed by the end of the movie, the mom is alive. And look, this is gonna sound really dark for me, but was that needed? It's revealed that she's alive, and then all she does is say that the dad is dead, and she says, let me tell you why she was alive. She was alive to say, he lives in you. Say the classic line from the anime movie to Mufasa, which, would go on to just inspire Simba and all that, which I guess that's a good point, somewhat, but like, was she really needed to be alive? And she's not even in the animated movie. She doesn't show up at all after that, so she just, she
probably passed away.
Yeah, but Storm. They have her die, quote unquote, air quotations, in the water, like during the water, but then she is revealed to be alive.
She didn't die in the water.
No, we didn't see her, of course, but it was kind of like implied, I guess. It was never said that they were dead, but like
I don't think so.
It was kind of implied, I guess. At least from my point of view, it was implied that they died. And it's why it's revealed to be the end of when she's alive at the end of the movie. I'm like, why wasn't she just dead the whole time then, if they were? Especially because they don't show up. So they have her, at least to me, quote unquote, die in the beginning of the movie, and then it's revealed only for her to come back by the end of the movie, only for her to die off screen, passed away, without us ever seeing her again. For me, I don't. Is that not
when I was watching it? I didn't think she died when the flood happened.
Maybe not.
And then when he was at Malele after they were all saying he was king and stuff, I actually expected one of them to show up.
Yeah.
Like I was like, while watching, I was like, "Where's the mom and dad?" I feel like it was good.
It wasn't like it's not too big of a deal for me, but it's like I don't really see the point of her still being alive if she doesn't do anything. Like,
I mean, I thought it was good. It was a heartwarming moment.
It was a heartwarming moment. I'm not trying to take that away, but like, I feel like the heartwarming moment was like him becoming king and like Sarabi loving him. Like,
yeah, but
you didn't really need the mom though. I don't think you really needed her.
For me, I didn't get the vibe that they died during the flood. So I feel like seeing one of them, if we didn't see one of them, we would have been like, what happened? Did they live or did they die? I feel like
it's kind of implied. I feel like it was kind of obvious though that they would have died in the flood.
I guess so, but
and at least to me it would have been obvious that they would.
There's a lot of land. They might not be at Malele.
Maybe, but like know. I don't know. But again, to me, it's not like a big deal. It's not like one of my 3 biggest issues, like with Scar or Taka. I'm just gonna call him Scar. Scar, Timon and Pumbaa, and Kiros. It's not on that level of bad, but like it was kind of a. I don't know if that was really needed.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And again, it just felt like they were trying to do the whole, he lives in you line again.
Mm-hmm.
And we can now before we actually do that, the one other thing, Storm, I want you to be the judge of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of now implied that Mufasa was the first king of Malele, a.k.a. Pride Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember in the animated movie, when Simba and Mufasa are at the stars. He says, I forget the lines. He says, like, the great kings are always watching down on us. You know that?
Yeah.
The iconic line that James L. Jones says. I wish I can remember the whole thing, but, the whole thing about the great kings looking down on us and watching us.
Simba, let me tell you something that my father told me Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars.
Does that line still work if Mufasa was the first king? Technically, then? And before you say you could say he's talking about all, like, the pride, like, all the, like, the herd leaders and pride leaders, but, like, really? That line now doesn't work? Because that line now feels off to me now. I can't believe that line feels off to me now, that Mufasa was the first king, and yet he's talking about how the great kings are looking down upon you, Simba, and us. And when they all look down upon you, it's like, but you were the first king, though. How does that work?
I think it's just
I feel like they didn't think that through. I feel like I caught them there.
I think it's just it's not a literal thing like look at the kings before you. It's kind of just look at. I feel like it's meant to look at the people, the kings in your life. Kind of. I feel like Mufasa's dad and Simba with Mufasa. I feel like it's kind of like the people in your life, the kings in your life. I feel like it's not necessarily the literal kings. I feel like
maybe I gotta go back to watch that scene again and see if it. I mean, I haven't seen the scene in a while, but I feel like
think about it. When Simba looked up in the sky, he saw
Mufasa.
Yeah, and when Mufasa looked up in the sky, he probably saw his dad. I feel like it's not a literal thing. I feel like, but I mean, you make a good point though.
Yeah, it feels weird to me now though that he was the first king. But like in the anime movie, he is talking about all the other kings and stuff like that. He does bring up all the kings looking down upon you, which you make a good point. He could be looking at his dad, but like, was there another one before? I mean, I'm assuming there's another one before his dad, and maybe it would just go on and on and on, maybe. But I don't know. If that's the case, he would have said maybe his family was looking down upon you.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like then, like, family's always looking down upon you. I get the whole thing as well in the first movie with Simba becoming a leader. So it does still make sense in terms of Simba, but, like, if you look at this movie, it actually would have made more sense if you would have said, like, family or something like that. Yeah. But I just wanted to point that out because after thinking about it for a while, I wanted to point that out because that may have been a mistake. And again, I'll go back and watch it. And if it is a big mistake, I'll put it in the video maybe. But yeah. But again, I just wanted to point that out there because I felt like that was a big thing to point out. Yeah. They even put it in the beginning of the movie when they do the tribute to James Earl Jones at the beginning. Yeah. Which really sweet they did that, by the way. I'm really happy. Yeah. But now we can get into the songs. For me, the songs were all pretty good, except for the villain song. We already talked about that. The villain song was terrible. Other than that, all the songs were, I would say, good. Yeah. They're not like songs I'm probably going to go back to anytime soon, not look up on YouTube. I did like the I Always Wanted a Brother.
Yeah, that song was good. Yeah.
That was a good song.
I mean, they didn't have a lot of songs in it. It's not like it was packed with songs.
No, it wasn't, yeah.
For the most part, I felt like it was good.
I felt
the brother song I actually liked.
I liked
that one. Song, that one was catchy.
That one was a good one. Yeah.
The bite was horrible.
Horrible. Terrible.
So I mean, it was.
I did like the love song actually. The love song was.
Yeah.
It's not. It wasn't like a Simba and Nala moment during the love song thing. Yeah. It was not that kind of moment. It was. I feel like they did try to copy it a little bit, but it wasn't that kind of moment. Yeah. But I did think it was pretty good. Like overall, the songs were good. Yeah. I mean, again, they're not like songs I'm probably gonna go back to and like look up on YouTube in my spare time. Mm-hmm. But I still overall thought the songs were good. Besides some Bye Bye. But
I agree.
But overall, I thought the songs were good.
I agree with that.
But I think we've actually talked about everything so far. Yeah. So I think it's now time for the final ranking. You want me to go?
Rafiki was your favorite character was Rafiki.
That was Rafiki, yeah. Rafiki
I'm gonna go with that too. I think
Rafiki was my favorite part. My least favorite character. I mean, I'm gonna count Timon and Pumbaa as one. I don't know actually. The more I've actually talked about it, the more I'm thinking about it because they failed with Scar's character. Timon and Pumbaa were annoying as crap, and Kyros was a fail of an interesting villain. Those three all kind of like even for me in terms of like story wise, potential wise, and annoyance wise.
Okay. So for me, Rafiki was my favorite character.
Agreed. I
like pretty much everybody besides. I guess we went over it, but I like pretty much everybody. But Rafiki was my favorite character.
Yeah, I agree.
My least favorite, I'm gonna go with what was his name, Abasi.
Abasi, you're talking about like Scar's dad. I mean, I didn't like him either.
I'm gonna go with him. He was my least favorite.
I didn't like him either, but to me, I mean, at least to me, he wasn't that big of a deal to talk about, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, he was kind of a jerk to make Scar, I guess, a little bit like one day he will betray you.
Yeah.
Which is even more funny because it's about a girl, which is even more.
Yeah.
That's what we've already gone through it, but it's about a girl. Come on, dude, really?
Yeah.
That was funny to me, but we can give our final thoughts now.
You want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
So, I think this movie is, again, it's not like a bad movie. I'm not going to call it a bad movie, because that's not true. It's not a bad movie. I wouldn't go that far. But I don't think it's a good movie, or not even close to a great movie. I would call it, at best, a okay movie. And that is 2 stars for me. 2 stars for me. Maybe if I'm not 2 stars for me, yeah. I think 2 stars for me. It's just 2 stars for me, yeah. That's my opinion. 2 stars for me. What about you, Storm?
Okay, so I think it was a good movie.
Okay.
Good movie.
A good movie. Okay.
Okay. It wasn't my favorite movie.
I definitely don't think it's like a level of bad or like
I don't think it was a bad
Peter
movie.
Pan movie.
I would definitely watch it again.
Okay.
And I would recommend watching it.
Okay.
I think if you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it.
Although this movie, I know we're a little late to the party. Although this movie did also compete with Sonic Movie 3 in theaters, and I just gotta say, if I had to recommend, watch Sonic Movie 3. It's not even competition there for me. Maybe that's me though. I could be biased for that one, but it's not even close for me, dude. But yeah, I recommend if I had to recommend one to you, it would be Sonic Movie 3. Oh, he's thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it because I wanted to go with this one number.
Okay.
And I don't want to go with it. I don't want to go too high because it's recency bias.
Okay.
We just watched it.
Yeah.
Fresh in my mind.
Yes.
Really enjoyed it.
That's true.
But I don't know if I should go with this number.
It's not okay. And I want to point this out. It's definitely not as bad as the live action Lion King movie.
I think it's one of the better live action.
That one's like a 1.5.
I think it's one of the better live action movies.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with. It's tough. I'm gonna go with a cool 3.5 stars.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 3.5 stars.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I was thinking about going 4.
Really? Oh wow.
I was thinking about
that's
going
like
4.
That's not even a good movie. That's like a great movie.
I couldn't go 4 because, like you said, I feel like that is a great movie. I feel like 3.5 is a good movie. 4, I think, is pushing it a little bit too much, and that's why I still
think you're pushing it a little now. But
that's why I'm saying it might have been recency.
It could be recency.
I'm gonna go 3.5. I think 3.5. I won't. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm sticking with forever. I think.
That's fine. Yeah.
I could rewatch it in 10 years and I'm still say 3.5. So
that's fine.
I'm gonna go with 3.5.
Yeah. It was definitely a bit of an odd balance.
Definitely 2 different opinions.
Definitely 2 different opinions, which is fine.
Yeah.
We don't have to have the same opinion.
Yeah.
We can always have different opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
But and you all are free to have your own opinion too.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear what you think of the movie.
Let us know in the comments below what y'all think.
And Storm, one more question because you didn't answer my question. Mm-hmm. If you had to recommend one, Sonic Movie 3 or Mufasa?
Oh, I'd definitely go Sonic. Well, Sonic, I gave 5 stars.
Yeah. Sonic we gave 5
Sonic
stars.
was a great, amazing
movie.
Amazing
movie. 5 stars are like the amazing movies.
Yes,
like the best movies. Movies that we can watch over and over again. We would still love it.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our opinion. Make sure to leave yours down in the comments below. Mm-hmm. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next one. I've been Storm.
And I've been Ice Master.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.